Imagine walking into a massive shopping mall. No maps, no signs, no clues where the exits are. You wonder, hoping you will eventually find the exits. That's what poor navigation feels like in digital products. It's that moment where you open an app and you think, wait, how do I get back to where I was? In this video, I'll show you how to design navigation that guides users effortlessly so they always know where they are and where to go next. Do you struggle to comprehend industry jargons as an early career UX or product designer? If so, don't worry, you are exactly who this series was made for. I have compiled a full A to Z guide to product design terms to help you understand and use them confidently in your communication so you can set clear expectations and show your value as a designer. So far, we've covered letters A through M, and today we are on letter N, and our word for today is, drum roll, navigation. Navigation is one of the most essential aspects of product design. It shapes how users move through digital experiences, helping them find information, complete tasks, and feel in control. In this video, we'll break down what navigation is and what it isn't, and we explore different types of navigations and talk about how to design clear, intuitive pathways that guides users effortlessly through your product. In product, navigation refers to the structure and the system of control that help users move through a product. Things like menu, links, icon, and gestures. It's how people explore, discover content, and accomplish tasks. Good navigation gives users confidence. Poor navigation, on the other hand, leads to confusion, frustration, and even drop-offs. Think of navigation as the invincible framework that holds the entire experience together. When done well, users don't even notice it. They simply flow from one step to another with ease. The importance of navigation. To really understand why navigation matters, let's go back to an old children's story, Hansel and Gretel. In the story, two siblings, Hansel and Gretel, are lured deep into the forest by a wicked witch. Realizing that they might not find their way back, they drop pieces of bread along the path, hoping that these breadcrumbs will guide them home. But as the story goes, the breadcrumbs are eaten up by birds. Very bleak story. So when Hansel and Gretel try to retrace their steps, the trail is gone. No direction, no markers, no way back. They wander through the forest, confused and disoriented. And that, believe it or not, is exactly what navigation feels like in digital products. Where users can't tell where they are, where they came from, or even how to go back, they end up lost in your interface, just like Hansel and Gretel were lost in the forest. In UX or product design, we even have a design pattern inspired by the story. Breadcrumbs navigation. It's a small but powerful feature that shows users the path that they have taken through a website or app so they know how to find their way home. But breadcrumbs are just one piece of the puzzle. Navigation as a whole is about creating a complete system of guidance, one that helps users explore confidently without ever feeling lost. Examples of navigation elements. Now that we've talked about why navigation matters, let's look at the three main types of navigation you'll find in most digital products and how they work together to create a clear, intuitive user experience. Some designers use the term primary, secondary, and contextual navigation, while others might say global, local, and contextual navigation. They mean the same thing. It just depends on the terminology used in your team or organization. To make this easy to visualize, let's use an e-commerce website as our example. Primary or global navigation. Primary navigation, sometimes called global navigation, is the main pathway users rely on to explore a product. It connects users to the most important sections, the ones that they visit most frequently. On an e-commerce site, the primary navigation might include items like home, shop, about, and contact. This is usually displayed at the top bar or a side menu, always visible and easy to recognize. Its job is to help the users understand the overall structure of the product at a glance. While users know where the main doors are, they can move through your sites confidently. 2. Secondary or local navigation. Secondary navigation, also known as local navigation, supports the main structure by helping users dive deeper within a section. Let's say a user clicks on shop. The secondary navigation might now include categories like women, men, or kids. And within women, it could even go further. You could see shoes, bag, jewelries. This layered structure adds depth, but it still needs to feel consistent and easy to follow. Secondary navigation should always feel like a natural extension of the main one, not a separate system altogether. Number 3, contextual navigation. Contextual navigation helps users understand where they are within a product and how to move back or forward smoothly. On our e-commerce site, this could include breadcrumbs like home to women, women to shoes, shoes to running shoes. It could also include back to results links or related product suggestions. These small details prevent users from feeling lost. They make it easy to retrace steps or continue exploring without starting over. Contextual navigation is all about maintaining orientation, showing users their trail, and keeping them grounded within the experience. Choosing the right navigation structure. Choosing the right mix depends on your product size, complexity, and user behavior. Smaller products might use just one simple global navigation bar, while larger systems need multiple layers to stay organized. The goal is to match your navigation system to your user's goal, not just to your content structure. Navigation across devices, web versus mobile. Now let's take a look at how navigation adapts between web and mobile using a product we already know, YouTube. So YouTube is a great example because it keeps the same structure across platforms but adjusts the layout to suit different devices. Web navigation on YouTube. On the web, YouTube's primary navigation appears as a sidebar on the left, featuring sections like Home, Shorts, Subscription, and Library. Secondary navigation appears when you dive deeper, for example, inside a channel where you'll be able to see the tabs, video, playlist, community, and about. Contextual navigation happens when you click on a video. You can easily move back to the channel or related video through breadcrumbs or the browser's navigation. On a mobile, the same structure exists, but is optimized for smaller screens. The sidebar becomes a bottom tab bar, giving access to Home, Shorts, Create, Subscription, and Library. Secondary navigation appears as a swipeable tab within a channel, while contextual navigation is handled by gestures and clear back arrows. The biggest difference between desktop and mobile navigation is space, and that space forces prioritization. Designers have to decide what users need right now versus what can sit tucked away. That's why patterns like tab bars, drawers, and gestures exist. They keep the experience functional without overwhelming the screen. Now let's talk about something that I love talking about: accessibility. In this case, accessible navigation. No matter the platform, accessibility should always be a core consideration and not an afterthought. Navigation must be usable with keyboards, screen readers, and other assistive technology. That means providing proper labels, logical tab orders, and visible focus states. Accessibility also plays a big role in user trust. When a product feels consistent, predictable, and inclusive, users feel confident navigating it, even subconsciously. But if labels are unclear or menus behave differently from page to page, trust breaks down fast. Great navigation doesn't just help people find their way, it shows them that you care about their experience. Hierarchy and user confidence. Hierarchy is the backbone of navigation. It's what tells users what's most important and what's secondary. Without it, everything competes for attention, and users end up feeling lost or overwhelmed. Clear hierarchy creates a natural flow, guiding users through your product step by step with confidence and ease. So whether you call them global and local navigation or primary and secondary, each type plays a pivotal role in helping users move through a product confidently. And when you design with hierarchy, adaptability, and accessibility in mind, you're not just building menus, you are creating meaningful pathways that make products feel effortless to use. I hope this video helped you understand navigation a little better. What it is, how it works, and how to design it in a way that keeps users feeling confident and in control. If you learned something new, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with another designer who might find it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss the next letter in the A to Z of product design series. On this channel, I share practical design insights and career tips to help you as a UX or product designer, one concept at a time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time when we move on to letter O.